How you doing, guys? We're back for another booze review, and this was something recommended to me by my friend Rena out in BC, so big thanks to her. I've been wanting to get into these spiced whiskeys. I guess it's kind of a misnomer to call them actual whiskeys, because really they're sort of more like they're sort of treading a fine line between liqueur and actual whiskeys. But this is Spicebox, small batch. I've seen this both 70 proof, but I've seen it online 80 proof. But it's blended and bottled by Spicebox Whisky. They're out of Montreal, Canada. These are small batch whiskeys. They use bourbon barrel-aged rye whiskey. It's a blend of different whiskeys. I don't know how many they actually put in it, but every whiskey is at least 3 years old, and they're up to 6 years old in the actual blend. They also add vanilla beans, 3 different types of vanilla beans, and assorted spices that they don't quite tell you. I'm assuming the American one is the 80 proof, 40%. It seems like most of the sites I was looking this up on, it was like American versions that were 40%. But this one here is 70 proof, 35%. And it is caramel colored, unfortunately. I don't think they actually say on the bottles here, but I think they have to in the US. But anyway, Spicebox actually doesn't refer to the fact that this is a spiced whiskey. Spicebox was back in Prohibition, when us Canadians were sending illegal booze across the border to Americans. Sometimes they would send them in barrels marked spice, containers in different barrels marked spice, to get past customs, and that's where the Spicebox term actually comes from. Anything else we need to know on here? No. But yeah, like I said, I've been interested in trying to get into some of these spiced whiskeys. I mean, they're not necessarily really whiskey, I guess, in a way. They're more of a liqueur than anything else. But we'll see what we think. So we'll put a little in the glass here. So she is an amber in color, light amber. I wish they hadn't caramel colored that. 3 to 6 years, that's still fairly young. But with the alcohol toned down so much, I have a feeling I'm not going to get any whiskey out of this at all. Getting very viscous legs on the glass. So go right to the aroma. Ooh. Very big in vanilla. The vanilla is very strong on this nose. I'm getting little hints of wood. No alcohol. And I'm getting a general spiciness, but it's very nondescript. Like, it's not where I can just pick out, oh, nutmeg, oh, this, oh, that. Smells pretty good, though. It doesn't smell overly sweet. Like, the vanilla is very strong in it, but it doesn't smell cloying at all. It smells very smooth and nice. Maybe the reason I've seen some ones that were 80 proof, maybe they actually toned this down a bit. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe it was too sweet before, I don't know. But it smells pretty good. It's not particularly complex or anything. It's just pretty much straight up the vanilla, a little bit of wood, a little bit of spiciness. Kind of reminds me ever so slightly of like a Speyside Scotch. But this very, very little. I think some of the spiciness is probably definitely coming from the rye in this. Alright, cheers. We'll go right to the taste, see what we think. You can definitely taste the whiskey in the background. Just in the back of the tongue, you generally get a little bit of the alcohol. You get a little bit of the rye character. Up front, just like in the nose, it's all pretty much vanilla. Vanilla is very strong in it. I'm getting a rye spiciness in the finish. I'm getting a warming in the finish. I seem to be getting nutmeg in the back of the mouth as well, sides of the tongue. Oh, the wood. It's a little bit more complex in the actual taste than it is on the nose. I'll give it that. Very, very smooth. It's got a creamy mouthfeel to it. It's funny, I smell it out of the bottle. It almost smells like toasted coconut along with the vanilla. No, this is good. I was expecting it to be kind of a sweet, syrupy mess, but it's actually the sweetness isn't cloying. It's pretty well balanced with everything else. The spiciness is climbing up a bit with the actual warming going down. You know, it's not too bad. It's not too bad. It reminds me a lot of a spiced rum, though, more than it does a whiskey. I mean, the general little sense of the alcohol presence in the background, you could easily call this a rum if you didn't know what it was. This is definitely a I think it's intended that this should be mixed with stuff. It definitely seems like a mixing sort of whiskey liqueur, whatever you want to call it. But it can be drank straight. Perfect weather for this sort of thing now. Fall, getting into winter. Oh man, it's kind of hard to give a letter grade to this because it's, like I said before, it's not really a whiskey. I mean, I'm not really getting enough of the whiskey character to actually like rate it on those merits. But as an actual, very weird. Yeah, I'm not going to give it a letter grade. I think I'll just stick to actual whiskeys as far as letter grades go. But I will give it a thumbs up. I will say that. I actually do like it. It's very nice. It's not something you have to really sit there and think about or ponder. You can slug back a bunch of it on a really nice night with friends. You can mix it with other people and not feel bad about it because it's not a real whiskey really. So it's not like you're destroying the base spirit. Yeah, I've gone on long enough. Spicebox, spiced whiskey, it gets a thumbs up. Apparently there's also a pumpkin version of this out there somewhere. That might be very interesting. And yeah, you guys in America can get it, so if you're actually interested, fill your boots. Alright guys, we'll see you later. Bye-bye.